Miss Cosgrove. Miss Cosgrove. Wild night last night, huh, Miss Cosgrove? Listen, try to stay with us for the class. This is money. You know, you don't want to waste your money. Speaking of money, the economic structure that was set up and put in place in the United States after the Industrial Revolution became a kind of, what's the word? Miss Cosgrove. Miss Cosgrove. Wow. Wild nights. Man, did you go to sleep at all? We in here watching you sleep. I see you laughing, but I don't even think you know what the hell I'm talking about at this point. All right, hang in there, Miss Cosgrove. We got a lot to go through. Now, once the funding structures were allocated to different proximities within the economic structure itself, that's when the U.S. government started to allocate different funding programs.
Oh boy. MK, can you hear me okay? Wow. What that Miss Cosgrove something else, y'all?
I'm laughing at Miss Cosgrove because she reminded me of some church services that I've been to. and some college classes that I've attended.
Man, when things are boring to you, you will go to sleep.
Yes. I'm quick.
But anyway, hey y'all, the devil will not let us be great. My connection is bad all throughout the house. It's raining here in Birmingham, Alabama. And we're gonna get we're gonna get the message out, right, MK? We got some great information we want to share with you guys today.
Yeah, now I don't know what y'all doing in Birmingham, but it's beautiful here.
Oh man, the weather is terrible, man. It's glitchy. My internet is bad. I done went from downstairs to upstairs. I'm in the middle right now. Hopefully, this is better. Can y'all see me okay? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay, but it's like you freezing up as far as the picture. Okay, now that's better. Okay, maybe don't move. Like hold completely still.
Okay, good. All right, I can do that.
You're good right now. You're good right now.
Okay. So, what's the topic for today? Why? Why what?
It's your show. What's the topic?
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot this is my show. So, hey, you guys, welcome to Skill Sets to Asset. I am Tony Clopton, and my co-host is Melissa King. Our title today is Why Join a myEcon home-based business. There's been a lot of chatter and a lot of talk about what we do in Awesome Company. We want to share a little bit of benefit. We want to share some myths and some misconceptions about what this business is all about. So, Melissa, I just want to just bring this information forward. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits of a home-based business. You're not even about the name so much, but the benefits of a home-based business in your own words, please.
Okay. Hey, everybody. This is Melissa King, and I am, as always, having fun hanging out over here with Tony on his page, coming to bring y'all a little something about finances. So you said you want me to explain the advantages of a home-based business, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and some personal advantages that has helped you.
Okay, so as a home-based business, I'm gonna give you the before and after. Before home-based business, I had no deductions. I had 0 allowances to claim on my W-4. I usually ended up having to pay back on my taxes. My credit was good, but it wasn't where I wanted it to be. And what else was before myEcon? I was basically, which we all live to an extent, paycheck to paycheck, but I was like, really, my check was divvied out to a point that it wasn't no leeway. You know what I mean? Like I was one, I won't say alternator, one transmission away from being messed up. You know, if something go wrong with your car and it's over $2,000 or $3,000, did not have an emergency fund. I was investing in my 401k, but it was just I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest.
Okay.
So that's the before picture. After picture, I learned more about my 401k since I have a home-based business and how that can help with my income. I learned how to correctly fill out my W-4. Learned what a refund was because I didn't know where the tax refund came from. So I learned what that was and how it's calculated. I learned about all of the deductions that I can get as a home-based business owner on things that I was paying for anyway. So like things that you take for granted because you got to pay your rent or a mortgage, you got to put gas in your car, you got to pay that power bill, that light bill, all of those things that I was doing anyway. Did not realize that if I had a home-based business, I could write some of those expenses off. Learned about generational wealth and hiring my child. Got her started on learning early about business and how business works and how credit works. And since starting this business, it opened up a conversation with her. And I think when I started this business, she was 5. She had just turned 5. So, it did. It opened up that conversation. Now she's about to be 11, and she knows way more at this age than I knew when I was that age. So those are some of the advantages. I do have an emergency fund now. I do know, the importance of credit and how to maintain a good credit score.
That's great. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all can see me and Melissa been knowing each other for a while. I know her story. Like, hopefully, many of you will get to know her story as well. But for my story, it's a little bit different. I work in the auto industry over 20 years, and I knew it was something that I needed to do additional outside of my job. Now, I can't build a vehicle from home. So I thought a home-based business would be great for me because now I can create an income from home and lower my taxes. Like Melissa, I know she's not going to say it, and I hope she don't mind me saying that she's a six-figure earner. So she was already saying that she was struggling with debt. She was struggling with cash flow. But a home-based business such as the one we're speaking to you about, it has taught us some valuable lessons about how to grow our money. And to me, Melissa, when you say that that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people are struggling today is not understanding how money works. Yeah. So I would just encourage anyone that is looking for a home-based business to actually look at what our company, myEcon, offers, because it's kind of like sets the foundation. So whether you're working a job or another business, this business will complement either one. So could you give us maybe, you said that, I don't think you even told somebody about how first strategy helped you. You tell a little bit, walk us through that process on how you utilized the first process, which was fixing your tax holdings.
Okay. All of us know when we first start a job that they give us this little slip of paper to fill out called a W-4. I've been working since I was 16, so I've filled out that form many times because I've changed jobs many times. Never really knew what the purpose of the form was. So, when I first started, because Tony is my upline, he's the one that introduced me to myEcon. We were Facebook friends. He had started with myEcon in May, and I had just kind of watched what was going on with him because I'm not a follower. I'm not quick to jump out there and get on the bandwagon. So I'm like, let me see what he doing. So the first thing he told me in November when I got ready to join, which was like I think a Sunday, he said, before we do anything else, let's fix your W-4. So I'm like, you talking about the paper from when you started the job? And she was like, yeah. So we, back then, the W-4 was one page. It had a front side, it had a back side. I had always filled out the front side, never knew there was a back side. So first things first, the side that I knew about, I wasn't filling out correctly. Because if you know the W-4, you know it goes down with a series of questions. Can anybody else claim you? How many dependents do you have? Are you head of household, single? You know, all that type of stuff. So I had just been not really paying attention. I was filling out the questions, but then, you know, it would say, I think on line 5, give your totals from line 1 through whatever. And if I fill it out appropriately, I should have been putting what, like a 4 or something like that. You know, and that was just without a home-based business, just period. Just based on answering the questions. But I was putting 0. I didn't want to have any allowances because I had already been in a state where based on my income and based on my lack of deductions, that I would always have to pay. So to avoid paying, common sense, let them take more out of your check during the year, and you don't have to pay back at the end of the year. So that's basically what I have been doing for, I'm going to say, the last 20 years because, you know, I've never really been one to get a big tax refund. I didn't have a child until I was older, and I didn't own a home. And, you know, those are the two things they always used to say. Well, you got to either have a baby or buy a house. Well, I wasn't in a position where I was ready to do either of those things. So because of that, it's almost like I was suffering. So, you know, I think Tony mentioned my salary earlier. What people don't realize is when you have a bigger salary and you don't have deductions, you end up getting taxed higher. I mean, you pay more taxes. And, you know, especially for those of you that do a lot of overtime, you know, the more you work, the more they take, right?
Absolutely. Yes,
off the
indeed.
top. So anyway, you know, I was filling that out incorrectly because I was just putting 0 as far as allowances, and I had them to take an additional $50 from the federal and $50 from the state every pay period, and I get paid twice a month. So I was basically, in addition to the 35 or whatever percent they were already taking, I was giving them an extra $100 to the state, $100 to the federal a month. So what's that, like $2,400 a year? That I'm just like, here, y'all keep this. But that's what I would have to do to either break even or get a little bit back. And you know, my understanding of how what a tax refund was, I honestly, you know, I tell people before, I didn't go to school for finance. My background is in is healthcare. So all I knew about money was the basic stuff they teach you in school. You know? So we probably did take a class. Who taught that? I think Miss Taylor taught that class about taxes and all that stuff. I didn't know how you get no refund, what the refund was, and all that type of stuff. So, you know, learning how to fill out that W-4 correctly, first of all, on the front side, gave me more allowances. Then, once I realized, you know, hey, I now have my own business. I am a myEcon business owner. So Tony was like, okay, here come the good part. Flip that paper over. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know it had the other side. So then you know, we're looking at the other side, and it's basically talking about things like itemized deductions, and then it starts talking about income from business. So, you know, we started filling things in, and then when we were done, I had gone from 0 allowances to 9. And if you like me back then, you don't know what that meant. But what it basically meant was I was bringing more money home. So, I was telling Tony, I said, well, okay, we'll see how this goes. So I did that on Sunday. I got paid that Friday, and I had an additional $400+ on my paycheck. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, okay, this worked. So then, I get paid twice a month. So that ended up being an additional close to $900 actually that was coming to me in my paycheck during the year. So, it was like I kept waiting on that other shoe to fall for something to go wrong, but nothing ever went wrong. Because what I learned is if you have a home-based business, then you winning anyway, because not only are you getting the deductions at the end of the year, you're getting more of your money back during the year. So, that was a game changer for me. Think about it. I tell people all the time, when I did get a refund before, the most I might get is like $1,300. Even after I had a child, I think the most I got back was maybe $2,000. So that's $2,000 for a full year. Think about, I was bringing home an additional $900 a month for 12 months. 9 times 12, what's that, 108,000? Don't embarrass me with the math, So that's an additional 10,800 a year that I was bringing home in a paycheck versus waiting till the first of the year to get that little stinking ass 1,300. Look, I can call it that now. Now, back in the day, I was like, 1,300.
Oh man!
But now I can have an attitude about it.
Right. That's great. Melissa, that's good. So a lot of people don't realize that our business was created for people that did not understand how the tax system works. So just like Melissa and countless people, we are teaching the rules of the wealthy by income shifting. We're taking tax dollars from the government and the banking system and utilizing it for our own personal gain. So like Melissa and like myself, we just didn't use those tax dollars. We paid off some debt, right? So when you pay off some debt, your credit increases, right? Now you're in position to create an emergency fund. Like the pandemic came, a lot of myEcon associates never missed a beat because we really are providing a service that millions of people need. See, the founder said, and you guys got to hear me on this. If you have a problem, be the solution. And the solution for a lot of people that are struggling is financial education. Even somebody that went to school for accounting or being financial advisors, they're not teaching these basic concepts because school taught them how to go out and get a job, but they never taught them how to become business owners and teach other people how to control their money, because that's not the American way. Somebody has to make money off people that are struggling. The lack of information may be the reason why a lot of people are struggling today.
Right.
So Melissa, we talk about today, like today before this video, we talked about how people have gifts and not understanding that a strategy can be just as strong as a gift, right? Could you talk a little bit about that, because you had brought it up?
Yeah, because we were trying to kind of define myEcon as a home-based business, and one of the things, because before I got started, my first question was, well, what is the business? And I'm like, I don't have a business, because I'm thinking I need to, and you can, if you have a business established already, you can bring that. Like Tony says, myEcon is gonna complement whatever you do. But for somebody like me, who I don't do hair, I don't do nails, I can't fix your car, I'm not a computer geek. Certain people have gifts that they can use to start a business for themselves. But what's the rest of us who, not saying that we losers, but we just may not have a gift that can make us
Right.
money legally. So
Right.
if you're in that situation and you want to start a business, you need options for that too. So this came in handy for me because, the business is about learning financial strategies, not just learning financial strategies, but sharing what you learn and teaching other people about financial strategies. And the fact that the strategies are something that you can learn and use as a skill, that puts you on a same level, if not higher, as somebody that has a God-given gift that they use. Like I see Tanya online. Tanya bakes cakes. Tanya is an excellent reporter. She got that gift to gab. She chased some stores down. I don't have neither one of those. So if it weren't for myEcon giving me an opportunity to, do something without exactly having a specific niche, then I might have just still continued to be a W-2 employee and not even venture out to trying to be a home-based business owner. So to me, that's how a gift and a strategy can be put on the same level, because everybody don't have the same gift, or everybody who got
girl,
a
you
gift may
said
not.
something.
Everybody who got a gift may not want to use it, and for business.
I got tingles. I got tingles when you said that. So let me add this. It's like your gift can be your consistency. Your gift can be a passion. Now, if you're gonna do this, I'm gonna get a little biblical, a little churchy with this one, right? So I heard TD Jakes say this, and it kind of sizzled a little bit when he said it. If you're gonna start a business, allow God to bless you through it, with it, to share with other people. So even if you don't think you're good at something, but it has helped you, just share it with someone else, because somebody else is needing that blessing, and it may be you may be the messenger to get the word out, right?
Right.
So how many people do you know that's struggling with credit? We have a credit repair system, right? Do it yourself, not allowing someone else, but you learn it for yourself. You don't go back to where you were before.
Right.
We know people that love to travel. You may not travel, but you know people that travel all year. What if you were able to be in position to offer them a deeply discounted travel membership, and all you did was just share it? So let's talk a little bit about when people say, I don't want to have to sell anything. What is your definition of selling? And we talked about this earlier. People are being sold to every day, right?
Right. I've always been in person, because I think I told you before, when I was growing up, how every time you turn around, the school got you selling candy, donuts, all those different things. And I know, just like me, a lot of y'all have supported a lot of the businesses and kids fundraisers and stuff. When I finally got a child and it was time for her to do that, this is how much I'm not a salesperson. I would just write a check for $50 and just donate. I'm like, I'm not finna call and be begging nobody to order no pound cake, no cookie dough, none of that. So I totally feel people who say, I don't like selling stuff, because I don't like selling stuff either. But there's a difference between sales and sharing what you know and being a blessing to other people. Because I've been active with myEcon now for going on 6 years. Had you told me, 10 years ago that this is something that I would be doing, I wouldn't believe you, because I've always been extremely shy and very timid. You can tell, So I wasn't one for talking in front of people. But when you got something to share that is going to help other people, and you're going to, more importantly, help your own to grow, you want to share it. It's just like we were saying earlier. If there was a lot of controversy, but a lot of people would come to America too.
Mm-hmm.
All of that word of mouth people used that did enjoy it, that was free advertising. Every time,
Was it?
yeah. Every time you told somebody if you liked it, that made somebody else go and watch it. Same thing with restaurants. If there's a restaurant open that's got a killer, everybody's into crab legs now. I ain't a seafood, but they got they got the best crab legs. You giving them free advertising based on what you said. Somebody's finna go over there and spend money. What we do is the same thing. We're giving a testimony based on what we've learned and the benefits we've gained, and we're sharing it with other people. And if other people choose to start their own business based on a testimony from us, then that's a win-win.
All day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think that's why I've stayed with it for so long, because, like I said, I watched you for almost a year trying to see, was this going to be another fad? Because you saw, everybody know, we've seen so many things come through that people jump on the bandwagon for, and then months later, they're not doing it no more. And you're like, I thought you was doing that. Nah, we ain't doing that now. So, for me to watch it and be impressed enough to invest in it. And I will say, back when I joined myEcon in 2015, to get started was $179. And I remember when Tony told me that, I'm like, so is it gonna be $179 every month? And he was like, no, that's just the startup cost. I'm like, so you didn't tell me when we get off the phone on my own business, and all I had to pay was $179. And he was like, yep. So, of course it's $34.95 a month. But the key thing was, that was the clincher. He was like, but even at $179 and that $34.95, you get to write that off on your taxes. That's a deduction. That's a business expense. I'm like, so technically, I ain't paying for nothing if I'm gonna get that credit back. And he was like, yeah. And I'm still like, what's the catch? I'm waiting on the catch. What's the catch? But like I said, when I got that first paycheck and I saw that $400, it's almost like I want to tell somebody, but maybe I better wait. Make sure this is gonna be consistent. So, and then I'm not gonna lie, when I first got started, I joined November. I had been in business for a month as a secret agent, hadn't told nobody. Had my own business, weren't advertising nowhere. On Facebook every day, sharing something funny. Ain't said nothing about no business. So then I started getting around people that were doing myEcon, that were like-minded people, and everybody was positive, and everybody was giving you, their success stories. And it's the difference when people can actually show you, I was able to show people I paid off this, and this. My credit score on this month was this. Next year it was this. It ain't nothing like having physical proof. I paid my car off a year and a half early. And I think the biggest blessing for me, because I think the Lord, the Lord knows before it happened what's gonna happen. And I was working a job, really good job. It was a contract position though. But never in my mind did I think, what if they don't renew the contract? So, and that's exactly what happened. I started working for this job in July 2015. I think I was one of the last ones that they laid off, but by the summer of 2016, I was unemployed. They got a lower bid for the contract, and they didn't use us. And it just so happens that the company that I was contracting with, they didn't have another assignment. They didn't have anything. So for the first time that was 2016. So in the first time in probably like 30 years, Yeah, because I had been working since I was 16. For the first time in 30 years, I don't have no job. And I'm like, you know, and at first I'm like, well, you know, for what I do, I'll be able to find something else just like that. Everybody's looking for, you know, auditors and stuff like that. June passed, July passed, August passed, and I'm still around here. I ain't worried about it. But the good
Like
part
this one.
was, and I was saying I wasn't worried about it here. But up here, I was watching that calendar like, ooh, I'm starting to get a little worried now. So, but I think what saved me is, and I remember that was my first time going to, or you know, the big meeting that they have in Atlanta that we went to. That was my first time going, and at first I was like, I don't think I'm gonna go because I don't even have a job. But then I thought about it. Because of this same business that you going to this meeting for, you have your debt paid down. Not only that, but you have an emergency fund now. Something you didn't even have before you started doing this. So, and you're going to stay at home and miss out on learning more about what's the same your tail. I got in my car. I hit the road. I went to Atlanta. I enjoyed myself. And when I came back home that September, I started a new job. Never missed a beat because I had learned to be prepared and have an emergency fund.
Right.
So there's a testimony in itself.
That's great. That's great. So look, I know we holding y'all a little bit longer, but man, I got to share this right here. So I always listen to a lot of mentors, and one of the greatest lady mentors that I've been listening to is Dr. Lynn Richardson, and she always speaks on how important it is to have a home-based business, y'all. Look, having a home-based business is going to give you credit for money that you're already spending. So it's like you're not going to add any more than what you already got going on. Everybody's paying rent, mortgage, cell phone, water, internet, driving your car. So if you're working a job and a job only, the best option is to fuse a home-based business with what you're doing now to create that emergency fund. You have to start utilizing your own tax dollars to put you in a better situation, just in case, like Melissa's situation where there was a cutback on the job, loss of hours, somebody got sick, you got sick. So if you don't go in, you don't make money, but you can always be at home at least 50% of the time. And why not ramp up that home-based business, y'all? It's time to start looking into home-based business ownership. We have one that I think is second to none. We've been around for 16 years, debt-free, technology-driven, cash flowed over $500 million. And we're not talking about the top earners. We're not talking about the president. We're talking about regular people like me, Melissa, countless others that paid off student loan. We paid off car loans, houses, and creating six figures from the comforts of home.
And more
Melissa, in closing,
more importantly, being able to keep more of those six figures.
There you go. There you go. So look, y'all, on Thursday, we're going to go in and open up. We're going to dissect, let you guys into a myEcon membership to show you all of the things that we have to offer as far as credit repair, travel membership, nutrition, debt elimination software, the cash flow manager, which audit proofs your business. I think every business owner and everybody that's thinking about being a home-based business owner need to tap in with us on Thursday. So you guys like, comment, and share. On Melissa, how can they reach out to you at any time?
I'm on Facebook as Melissa King. I'm on YouTube, Melissa King, myEcon, that's MYECON. I'm on Instagram at, I think it's Melissa King 7474. So any one of those, if you want to inbox me or DM or whatever, I'll get back to you.
Okay. Any remarks before we tap out?
No, I thank you for allowing me to come on with you as usual, and thank you for letting me share my story. I hope it's a blessing for somebody else who's looking for a way that they can, you know, start doing something outside of their regular job, who might be like me. And I'm not gonna say don't have no gift, but haven't exactly tapped in on what their gift is yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate you.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you for coming on. And to our guests out there, we're new. I'm new with the StreamYard. I can't see a lot of people's comments, but please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook under Tony Clopton. I am also on YouTube and Instagram. Reach out to me if you guys got any questions that you like for us to answer. We are the original OGs. We've been in around 5-6 years, and I
Yep.
think we know enough to answer anybody questions out there that may have some issues or some concerns about joining. And we definitely want to bring you on as a business partner so we can start building this financial network of empowerment. So with that being said, we want to thank you guys for tapping in with us today, and we'll be looking to see you guys on Thursday.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you,
You guys
Tony.
have a great day.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye, y'all.